Welcome back to the Scarlet Faithful podcast. It's my pleasure to welcome as a guest this episode Rutgers men's lacrosse head coach Brian Brecht, a few days out from the 2023 season beginning. Coach Brecht, thanks so much for being here.
No, you're very welcome, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
So I know you're very busy ramping up. You've had 3 scrimmages already this preseason, and you open up on Saturday against Marist. I wanted to ask, in terms of this offseason, you have quite a bit of contributors back from last season, but you welcomed a lot of newcomers as well, including 9 transfers. What has that transition been like, and how helpful has it been to have so many returning core players to the program to make that transition?
Yeah, I think the big part of the transition and the growth of our program throughout the fall and the preseason has been leaning on the returning guys from last year. Not only the key guys and the All Americans that everyone knows that were on the field helping us the last couple of years, but also some of the other guys throughout the locker room over the years that have really stepped up into bigger roles on game day for us this coming season. So we're going to lean on that experience, and I thought the fall was a slow burn, and just developing and very vanilla and gradually implementing the new guys, a lot of new faces. We got a great freshman class that we're excited about, the transfers, and then the returning guys, with all the experience. It's been a good fall, good preseason, and the 3 scrimmages has allowed us to get a lot of game reps, against a different color jersey with officials, playing out of a lot of game-like situations that we wouldn't be able to get just by practicing alone.
And you do have quite a bit of experience back. I wanted to ask specifically about Ethan Rawl, first team All-American. How much stability does he bring to the program, just not only on the field as your long stick midfielder, but also off the field with his leadership and what he brings to the team?
Yeah, he's been a big part of our success the last couple of years on and off the field. He really leads by example. He plays hard and comes with a lot of energy and every day of practice. Not just on game day. And it's really impressive to see how hard he works in the weight room and in drills and practice. So he's certainly a leader by example. He's got an unbelievable voice and certainly is taking the new guys and the returning guys under his wing. And certainly we're a better program for him for what he does for us every day and obviously on game day, being the best in the country at that position.
And he's one of a few guys that have come back now, yet again for another year, extra year eligibility. Bobby Russo, David Sprock. What I guess, how does it help you as a coach having program guys that just come back year after year? You've had very little players ever transfer out through your tenure. What is it about the culture of this program that has bred that kind of experience and longevity within players' tenures?
Yeah, no, that's a big part of our success, no doubt, and I think it stems from just the program, the administration, the support that they've provided us. I think the alumni base, the support that they provide us, and then it started back with Kieran Mullins and with Adam Shalom-Beatty. So having our guys come up through the program, the Garrett Bullets and Ryan Gallagher's and Brendan Camish's and Mike Sanguinetti's, Stephen Russo last year, Jared Jean Felix. So a lot of our homegrown guys, and in this year with Bobby Russo, like you said, David Sprock coming back and Ethan Rowell, it's been great to have, our guys, who are in the program for 4 years, stay, get a master's from the School of Business and play at the highest level before, going into their careers in life after college. So that's the locker room atmosphere, the competition, the experience, the knowledge on the field, the plan that we have here at Rutgers and the mentoring. I think it's on and off the field has been a big part of our success and the development of our new and younger guys each year that come into the program.
And you've always had a lot of balance offensively, with multiple contributors. You have obviously Ross Scott back after a great year last year, 50 goals. And then obviously Shane Knobloch, and then even Brian Cameron. How has that experience help? And I guess what can you say in terms of where that group is at heading into the season?
Yeah, I think on both sides of the ball, that experience, like you mentioned, with some of the players' names, and the experience that Ross Scott had last year on the field for us here at Rutgers, and then in the World Games with Team Canada over the summer. Same thing with Shane Knobloch. All of them have. Both of them, I should say, have been starters and been on the field for since day one. That they've and Shane's experience winning a gold medal with Team USA this summer. I've seen definitely a jump and a growth in their game, this fall and even now in the preseason. So, you have those two veterans with all the game day experience they've had. David Sprock back in the mix, as an All-American and a starter for us, with all his time here on the Banks, and Brian Cameron with another year under his belt. So, it's been a great mix on the offensive end, and same thing on the defensive end. With Brad Apgar coming back to help out with Bobby Russo and Jack Stahanzik down low. Ethan, as we talked about earlier, I think there's a great core of returning guys, both offensively and defensively, and then some of the new guys, as far as their role, with us over the years in the program, and new guys, freshmen and transfers, coming in this year, that will sprinkle in, but we're going to lean on the veteran returning guys, with the experience they have, and it's exciting that it's for real now. So this is game week, and we're looking forward to starting the 2023 season.
The rope unit, you lost a lot of key guys: Brendan Kamish, Tommy Coyne, Zachary Frankowiak. I guess, where are you looking for production out of there? I know you have a transfer, Ryan Decker from Colgate, but I guess how is that group kind of formed in the preseason and off season, and how important is that for their transition this season?
Yeah, I think each year, you're a little different. Guys are always going to graduate. New guys are going to come in. Returning guys are going to step up and have different roles. So, but as you mentioned, earlier in this conversation, Tommy Coyne, an older guy. Zach Frankowiak, an older guy who left with Masters and spent an extra year with COVID. So, that is a lot of minutes and a lot of experience and a lot of success over the last couple of years to kind of fill in with. But Ryan Decker, John Miller, Noah Daniels, they've come into our program, and they've been maybe defensive minded first. So I think the gelling of the defensive side of the field has been very strong with some of the veterans taking them under their wings. We have some younger freshmen that are sprinkling in that are getting a lot of minutes in the preseason as well. And I think with Ross Scott, as a true quarterback and point attackman, and Brian Cameron having a little experience being with us now for the second year, I think we're figuring out playing to our strengths a little bit. So we might not be the same team with Kamish, Franco, and Coyne not being there for us, but I think it's still it's been a great preseason, and just going to be a little different with some of the things we do from the defense to the offensive end this year.
And just in terms of goalie, obviously big transition there. Colin Kurtz, tremendous asset to your program the last two seasons. Now replacing him with three newcomers. You have Kyle Mullen, the transfer from Harvard, Anthony Palmer from Stony Brook, and then the All-American freshman, Cardin Stoller. How has that been in terms of that group competing with one another and strengthening that position?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it's been. It's been a great group that have battled and competed with one another. I think the experience that Kyle and Anthony bring from starting at their respective schools and the minutes they've logged at this level on game day has been a great help of developing Cardin and mentoring him and kind of taking him under their wings a little bit. So practices have been competitive on both ends of the field. Drills have been competitive. Having three very strong goalies, with talent and experience, battling every day in practice. So, and I think that's what the preseason has been for. We've had 12 quarters of scrimmage time to be able to give those guys a lot of reps, and certainly looking forward to settling in on opening day, and having them continue to challenge and battle and compete every day in practice. So that's been a healthy room so far. So we're going to miss Colin, and he certainly was an All-American and did a great job for us for 2 years. But very excited with the competition that we have in the Golden Room this year, and success and the development that all three of them are showing each day in practice.
And I think it gets maybe underappreciated, but during COVID, you had a lot of disjointed off seasons. Having the most success in program history last season, and then having a full off season this past year, how critical has that been to just kind of keeping things going and being able to prepare as well as possible for this upcoming season?
Yeah, no, I'm a firm believer in the routine and having a plan, and being consistent with all that we do, and that's one of the things we tried to do with COVID as well. And I think there were some obstacles and hurdles, but our guys did a great job of navigating those, and having a plan and a routine every day that helped them have the success during that period, and continue last couple of years. So no different this year, and we're excited with the process that we've laid out, and each day matters to us, and get these opportunities back. So it's been a fun preseason. I'm excited to get going this week, and I think so are the guys.
A big part of your success last year, I think, was you led the country in fewest turnovers. How important is that? I guess, how much do you stress that as part of your program, and how has that developed over the years in terms of getting better and better in that area?
Yeah, no, I think it's the process as far as the fundamentals. You're not going to be, you love to be, great at all the specialties, the man up, the man down, the save percentages, face off, the clearing percentage, but personnel changes, and you're going to be stronger, and maybe need to develop certain areas each year a little differently. So the one theme, whether it's stick work and fundamentals, I think the turnovers, it certainly allows us to balance. If we're not getting all the face-offs that we need, if we're clearing the ball successfully and not turning the ball over, those are extra possessions. If we're getting a few more face-offs, we're making a few more saves, and we're being good with ball control, that's even more possessions. So I think it's a possessions game. So the more possessions you have from all those areas, whether it's fewer turnovers, successful clearing, face-offs, ground balls, saves, those are all, more opportunities we can get it to Ross Scott, get it to Shane Knobloch and David Sprock and Brian Cameron and Dante Koulis, and some of the guys on the offensive end, the more opportunities we're going to have to score. And I think that's the few turnovers and the clearing, and obviously the fundamentals have been a big part of our success.
And you mentioned Dante Koulis. I wanted to ask about him. He had some absence at some point last season, but came on strong at the end. How excited are you for his potential and just what he could bring to this team?
Yeah, no, he's another one that's had a great freshman year as far as developing from the fall to the spring, and really had high hopes of sprinkling him more into a veteran lineup last year. Just a couple of injuries and chunks of practice time that he had missed, kind of prevented us from maybe using him more on game day. And he's healthy, he's older, not just in the classroom and on the field, but just his communication and the gelling with the other guys. He's been a big part of our preseason, and looking forward to him kind of stepping into a newer role, as I said, with some of the returning guys on game day.
And in terms of your schedule, you always schedule pretty competitively with the non-conference to get ready for the Big Ten. A lot of the usual opponents back, St. John's, Army, Loyola. But Utah being on the schedule caught my eye a little bit. I just curious how that came about, and how that I guess helps in terms of preparing for the Big Ten.
Yeah, no, I think Utah's picked to win their conference, and it was in the top 20 last year. Has a strong RPI. Same with UMass. A top 20, top 25 RPI team. Picked to come and lead their conference with the new A10 conference this year. So I think those are two Great, teams that have had good success recently have strong conferences that they're going to compete and have a chance to earn an AQ and also provide good numbers with the RPI. So I think the Big Ten is going to be a bear. I think all the teams in the Big Ten are significantly better than last year. And then you throw in the natural rivals with Princeton and Army and the Loyola game for the last couple of years. We're between the Big Ten and some of the rivalries that we have, and then the non-conference teams, being picked at the top of their conference and competing for AQs. I think we've put together a great schedule for our guys to compete, get better, challenge themselves, and hopefully prepare us for our best lacrosse as we enter into Big Ten play in April and postseason in May.
And obviously, you do have a lot of newcomers, but for the guys that are back, I guess there's been a couple seasons where you haven't been able to have fans as much as you've liked. Obviously, you had a great turnout last year for the NCAA tournament, but I guess is there almost a more of appreciation now going into a fresh season and knowing you're going to be able to have fans at SHI Stadium on a regular basis and be able to take advantage of that home field?
Yeah, I think that's exciting. I think our parents, our alumni, and the fans of our players have really done a great job supporting us home and away. The last couple of years, and now to be able to have the fans of New Jersey lacrosse and the youth and the high school, be able to come out. Hopefully it's been a mild preseason, so if that continues, I think the weather and the time of the games, and I think we have a mix of games, from the traditional 1 o'clock Saturday afternoons to a couple of Friday night games, Sunday night games. So it really provides our fans a great opportunity to come watch the Scarlet Knights and all the family and friends and alumni of our players to be around here on the banks as much as possible. We have great, we got 8 home games. Like I said, with a mix of Saturday games, Friday night, Sunday night games. Looking to have everyone back on campus as many times as they come watch the guys play.
So last question for you, just in terms of expectations that you have for this team, obviously coming off your most successful year in program history, I guess, does that success help or hurt going into this year? And I guess, how do you reset, the expectations for this new team?
Yeah, I think the last couple of years, and even once we started the Big Ten, the expectations were to compete for Big Ten championships and the postseason play. I don't think that ever changes. The groups change and guys graduate, but new guys come in, and that expectation with the returning guys always stays the same. So our senior class this year, our captains and our leaders, I think have been great all through the fall and the preseason, and I think that will continue through the regular season that we're about to embark on right now. And the success over the last couple of years, I think, just makes everyone a little hungrier, to keep taking the next step. And it's hard to get here, but also hard and just as difficult to stay here at this level. So I think the consistency and the routines that we have, in the process, it's not only in the off season and the preseason, but it holds true in the season and going into the postseason and taking those next steps as individual players, but also as a program as a whole.
Rutgers men's lacrosse head coach Brian Brecht, always a pleasure to talk to you. I really appreciate you taking time on game week, and wish you the best of luck this season, and look forward to covering your team as always.
My pleasure. Thanks for all your support of our guys. So enjoy the rest of your day, and go RU.
All right. Thanks, Coach.